This is unbelievable, my friend. Just when Eagles fans started worrying about the worst, the team released an update that completely changes the mood in Philadelphia. Doubts about Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown? They've finally been cleared up. And what's happening in practice has everyone excited for the game against the Packers. I've got exclusive details on the recovery of the starters, the return of key players on the offensive line, and even episodes of what's to come in Micah Week. But before I reveal everything that's coming, don't forget to like and subscribe, because what I'm about to tell you shows why the Super Bowl champions are more alive than ever. Philadelphia Eagles fans can finally breathe a sigh of relief. After weeks of worry about two of the team's biggest stars, those fears have finally dissipated. Both Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown returned to full practice this week, setting the stage for an explosive return in time for the crucial Week 10 matchup against the Green Bay Packers. Barkley, who left the Week 8 game against the Giants with a groin strain, appears fully recovered. Reports from practice described him as quick, confident, and full of energy, showing no signs of discomfort. Sources even revealed that Barkley could have returned to the game against the Giants if needed, but the coaching staff wisely opted for caution. His ability to reach peak speed this week reassured both the medical staff and Nick Sirianni, confirming that the weather star is ready to play. As for A.J. Brown, the thigh injury that sidelined him from the game against the Giants is now behind him. The talented receiver told reporters, "I'll be out there Monday night. I'm ready to play." This confidence spread through the locker room, motivating teammates who missed his leadership and explosive plays. With Brown's return, Jalen Hurts regains his primary target, just in time to face one of the strongest pass defenses in the league. The only downside is center Cam Jurgens, who remains sidelined due to knee surgery. However, with Brett Toth updating him and helping the Eagles rush for over 250 yards in the last game, the team may choose to rest Jurgens for another week to ensure his full recovery. This decision could be advantageous later in the season when the competition gets tougher. On defense, there's more good news. Adoree Jackson and Moro Ojomo are gradually recovering from concussions, while young stars Nolan Smith Jr., triceps, and Willie Lampkin, knee, ankle, are back in top form. Fans are especially excited to see Smith face newly signed Jalen Phillips for the first time, a pass-rushing duo that could cause mistakes in the NFC. Cornerback Jacorian Bennett, recovered from a chest injury, also practiced fully this week, giving the second team a much-needed boost after weeks of a reduced roster. Sirianni called it one of the most encouraging injury reports of the year, and it's easy to see why. The Eagles are finally getting their players back at the perfect time. With Barkley and Brown returning, the offense regains its explosiveness. With Smith and Phillips on the wings, the defense gains a new and dangerous dimension. The timing couldn't be better, because in Week 10, we await the Packers in a revamped lineup, led by none other than former Cowboy Micah Parsons, who now terrorizes opposing quarterbacks in Green Bay. And if the good news stopped there, they'd be wrong, because right after Barkley and A.J. Brown's return, another update further excited Eagles fans. Just when fans thought the good news in Philadelphia couldn't get any better, another exciting twist emerged from the NovaCare complex. The Eagles are preparing to unleash their secret weapon, the offensive lineman Javion Monroe, who is set to make his highly anticipated debut against the Green Bay Packers. After months of quiet development behind the scenes, Monroe has earned his place in the rotation, and international sources say the coaching staff is relieved with his potential impact. Monroe, a third-round pick from Alabama, has been impressing coaches with his detail, strength, and intelligence since the start of training camp. Initially drafted as a guard, he spent time learning the tackle and center positions, a sign of significant importance to the Philadelphia Eagles and to him in the long run. Offensive line coach Jeff Stoutland, widely considered one of the best in the NFL, has been Monroe's personal mentor and reportedly told colleagues that the rookie reminds him of a young Landon Dickerson. That's high praise for a player who hasn't even stepped onto the field in the regular season yet. The Philadelphia Eagles offensive line has been one of the team's greatest assets, even with Cam Jurgens out of action. But the arrival of Monroe could elevate it to another level. With his size, athleticism, and brute strength, he brings a unit that prides itself on its physical dominance. Sources say he could be used as a guard or even participate in some plays as an extra lineman in formations with many linemen, something the Eagles could use to neutralize the Green Bay Packers defensive line, led by Micah Parsons and Kenny Clark. Coach Nick Sirianni and offensive coordinator Kellen Moore wanted to understand that the offense will feature some new formations this week, possibly involving Monroe in plays focused on running. One source described him as a silent weapon that could change the narrative of a single-block game. With Saquon Barkley's return, this could be the perfect time to test these new formations. But Monroe's debut goes beyond simply filling a gap. It represents the continuation of the Eagles' philosophy of building from the trenches. General Manager Howie Roseman has always prioritized depth and youth on both sides of the line, and Monroe fits perfectly into that plan. If he performs well, he could become part of the next great generation of Philadelphia Eagles forwards, following in the footsteps of Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson, and Brandon Brooks. Fans who have been following the rookie have been quietly waiting for months, eager to see what he will do under the spotlights of Lincoln Financial Field. And inside the locker room, veterans are already showing their support for him. "He's been waiting for this moment," said Lane Johnson. "The kid is a monster, and all this recovery comes at the right time, because the challenge ahead is one that tests the limits of any offensive line, the famous Micah week." Although this week's spotlight is on the return of Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown, and the debut of rookie sensation Javion Monroe, there's another development that has gone somewhat unnoticed in Philadelphia: the long-awaited return of veteran cornerback James Bradberry. After weeks of uncertainty about his future with the team, Bradberry has re-emerged as a key figure in the Eagles' secondary on the eve of the crucial Week 10 matchup against the Green Bay Packers. Bradberry, who suffered a persistent shoulder injury early in the season, has spent the last month recovering to get back to his best form. During that time, rumors circulated about whether the Philadelphia Eagles might part ways with him, especially with the meteoric rise of young cornerback Kelly Ringo and the consistent performance of Eli Ricks. But, according to internal team sources, defensive coordinator Vic Fangio never lost faith in the veteran. "Bradberry's intelligence and composure are irreplaceable," Fangio told reporters. "He sees the field like a coach." Now fully recovered, Bradberry has been training with a renewed sense of purpose. Sources say he has been one of the most vocal leaders on defense this week, helping younger players adapt to Fangio's constantly evolving coverage schemes. His return couldn't have come at a better time. The Eagles' secondary has struggled in recent weeks against long passes, allowing several explosive plays that nearly cost them important games. Bradberry's return, alongside Darius Slay, gives Philadelphia the experience and communication they desperately need against a fit Jordan Love and the Packers' dangerous receiving core. Another intriguing twist is how Fangio plans to use Bradberry this time. Instead of keeping him exclusively on the sideline, the coaching staff is reportedly experimenting with him in a hybrid role, occasionally as a slot receiver or even as a safety in certain formations. The goal? To disguise coverages and confuse quarterbacks before the snap. This understanding can be a game changer, especially against teams that rely on quick deliveries and reads like Green Bay. But the veteran cornerback won't be alone upon his return. Adoree Jackson and Jacorian Bennett, both retired on loan, should also be available for Week 10. This means the Eagles will finally be able to utilize their most complete secondary of the season, something that hasn't happened since early September. The timing couldn't be more perfect, as Philadelphia faced the Packers' offense, which is among the top 5 in third downs. With Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown finally back in action, rookie Javion Monroe ready to make his long-awaited debut, and veteran James Bradberry returning to stabilize the defense, will this be the week the Philadelphia Eagles rediscover the full, championship-worthy form that made them the most feared team in the NFL last season? Leave your opinion here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.